Is cash tight in your business at the moment? If yes, I want to talk to you about the top 5 low doc, same day business loans for emergencies. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome, my folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you ever ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the top 5 low doc, same day business loans for emergencies. Now, we've spoken about no doc loans on this show, but today we are speaking about low documentation loans here. Okay, you have to understand that when we speak about low documentation same day business loans for emergencies, we are speaking about 4 types of loans primarily. So we have the short-term business loans that help you with things like equipment purchases, renovations, and other financial needs. We have working capital. We have lines of credit. So this is a revolving credit to cover small or recurring expenses. We have invoice factoring. So this is basically a series of advances on outstanding invoices to improve cash flows. And you have MCAs, merchant cash advances. So those are emergency loans with high rates and low minimum requirements based on credit card receivables, credit card or debit card receivables. So you need to have electronic sales to qualify for MCAs. One thing I want to say also is that there are some pros and cons for low doc, same day business loans for emergencies. What are the pros here? Those loans can provide emergency funding, cash that you really need to take care of business. They have lower qualifications than traditional loans, right? This is why we spoke about the low doc. And then you have there are multiple loan products from which you choose. What about the cons? Generally, you have higher interest rates than traditional loans provide. You have shorter term loans for smaller amounts, and you have daily or weekly payments that sometimes can be disruptive for your business cash flow. One thing I also want to say here is that when we speak about low documentation, same day business loans, usually those are provided by alternative lenders and online lenders. Okay, you're not going to get this kind of loans from traditional lenders such as banks or credit unions. You're going to have to get them through alternative lenders. Okay, one thing that I also need to do here is that those online lenders and alternative lenders typically have more lenient qualification requirements, which makes it easier for even struggling businesses to receive financing. So when we speak about low doc, we are speaking about maybe a bank statement, maybe the last 3 bank statements, or the company's financial statements. That's it. In some cases, they might ask for tax returns, but that's it. They're not asking you for a constellation of documents. No, they're only asking for bank statements or financial statements. I want to talk to you about how to choose the right same day business loan. Before I actually give you the top 5, I want you to really have an idea of how to choose the best low doc same day business loan for emergencies. You want to think about 4 things based on our analysis. You want to think about the type of products. So you want to consider what type of financing you need, whether it is a term loan, a line of credit, or another option, because that's going to trigger a series of processes later on in terms of your business credit, in terms of your liquidity management strategy, right? So you also want to think about the rates and fees. Some rates can be exorbitant, so those are very important. So the funding will likely be more expensive compared to other options. So you want to know exactly how much any product will cost you and what the process will look like to pay back what you have borrowed. The time to funding. Obviously, we are speaking about emergencies here. We're speaking about same-day business loans. So all the loans that I'll be speaking to you today about will be funded within a day. Okay, so you want to be and this is why you need to provide the right documentation, because if you delay the whole process, you're not getting the loan on the same day. So please, the 4th thing you want to pay attention to is the lender. We want to talk about their reputation. We want to speak about their customer service, their whole process, their business model. Those things are important. You also want to think about the loan application, the payback process. Loan application, are they doing it online or offline? Or can you do it over the phone? How quick are they to get back to you? So those are things you want to pay attention to, especially if you want your cash the same day. But one thing for sure, please have your paperwork ready. We are speaking about only one document or two maximum. So we're speaking about the last 3 bank statements, business bank statements, or your business financial statements. That's it. Before I get into the actual comparison here, please check out this short video. It talks to you about our very rigorous approach when it comes to listing, categorizing, and reviewing business loans on this show. Check this out. Number 5, folks, we have here Loan Builder. Our score 8.5 over 10. So with Loan Builder here, you have a low doc same day business loan, and this is actually a product by PayPal. Okay, so loan amounts $5,000 to $500,000. Repayment terms 13 to 52 weeks. It's pretty good. The repayment schedule weekly, and in some cases, depending on for higher loan amounts, Loan Builder will ask for a blanket UCC filing, and a personal guarantee may be required in some cases as well, and the funding speed 1 day. And one thing you need to understand here, the starting APR here, the APR oscillates from 2.9% to 18.72%, and there's no maintenance fee. The minimum credit score will go from 500 to 600, and the minimum time in business 9 months. And in terms of annual revenue, they're asking you to have at least $4,000, $3,000 to $4,000 in gross income on a monthly basis. So what are the pros and cons here? So Loan Builder has actually has a configurator that allows borrowers to see their estimated options upfront and tailor the terms to their needs. We really love that. This is very user friendly, so you see everything before even signing up. If it works for you, fantastic. And they do have a low minimum annual revenue and time and business requirements that make it a great choice for startups and very young businesses. They also have a low minimum credit score requirements that is great for borrowers with subprime credit. And what about the cons? So loan fees are added to the loan upfront, so there are no savings to the borrower for paying the loan off early. So if you want to pay off the loan early, you can't get any I would say any bonus here. There is potential for a very high APR, and loan amounts can be very small. And one thing we love overall here is that when you think about Loan Builder, you want to think about a same day low doc business loan provider that is very quick, that has very low, I would say, application criteria, but that charges a lot of cash in terms of APR. Okay, so this kind of loan, in our view, is great for an emergency, but you can't use it for a long-term or high-cost project. And especially because there are no savings for paying the loan off early, because the fees are based on the original loan amount, not on how fast you repay the loan. So something you need to think about. Loan Builder 8.5 over 10. Number 4, folks, we have here Sunwise Capital. Our score 9 over 10. With Sunwise Capital, one thing you need to think about is you have to think about a lender that is great at helping a borrower get the cash quick, but also answering any questions that the borrower might have. What they do is they will assign a loan rep to you, and the loan amount here up to $4 million. The repayment term 3 months to 36 months. The repayment schedule weekly. And in terms of a collateral, they might ask you in some cases, especially for larger amounts, to file a blanket UCC lien. And a personal guarantee is required in certain loans, especially the higher amounts. and the funding speed 12 hours to 18 hours. And one thing you need to think about in terms of cost and qualifications, the expected APR goes from 12% all the way to 150%. Yes, this is an annual percentage rate. Okay, origination fee 4% to 5%, minimum credit score 500, minimum time in business 1 year, minimum annual revenue $120,000. In terms of the starting factor rate, you have 1.11x to 1.38x loan amount, depending on the term of the loan. What are the pros and cons here? So when we think about Sunwise Capital, we think about a player that has a very low minimum credit score, and this is kind of cool. If you have a troubled business, businesses with lean or poor credit have a chance to borrow with the Sunwise Capital. Borrowers with higher monthly revenue may qualify for a line of credit at a lower interest rate. What about the drawbacks here? They have extremely high interest rates for low credit borrowers, high minimum revenue that makes this sort of loan less than ideal for new business owners, and minimum loan amounts are very small and may not be helpful. And overall, we love Sunwise Capital because they do have a working capital products that will help you in times of emergencies, okay? And this product is geared towards established businesses facing financial difficulties like liens and credit delinquencies, and the low minimum credit score, FYI, that's 500, allows even borrowers with very poor credit scores to qualify. So this is really good, okay? And the cool thing here is that borrowers with solid credit profiles and income may also qualify for Sunwise Capital's line of credit product at a much lower interest rates. So this is something you need to be thinking about. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the top 5 low doc same-day business loans for emergencies. Number 3 here we have Bluevine. Our score 9/10. With Bluevine, you have a credit line that goes all the way to $250,000. So Bluevine does not have a loan per se. They do have a low doc business line of credit, and so this is a line of credit you can tap into whenever you need it. And the repayment term goes from 6 to 12 months. The repayment schedule weekly or monthly. In terms of collateral, they might ask for a blanket UCC filing, and a personal guarantee may be required for a larger amount. I mean, anything above $200,000. The funding speed, same business day. And the funding type can be line of credit or invoice factoring. In terms of cost and qualifications here, folks, one thing I want to say here is that the APR will range from 13% to 70%. There is no origination fee, and the minimum credit score can be from 550 to 600. And they want you to be, Bluevine wants you to be in business at least 6 months and make at least $120,000 a year, and that's gross income. What are the benefits and drawbacks of this Bluevine low doc same-day business loan or same-day business line of credit? The pros. So once approved, funds can be deposited within a few hours. And Bluevine uses simple interest, so borrowers can save by paying loans back early. Okay, there is no accrual here. And Bluevine has no origination, prepayment, or early repayment fees. So this is really good. In terms of drawbacks, borrowers with credit score below 550 to 600 will be limited to Bluevine's invoice factoring products, and they have slightly higher interest rates than Fundbox and other players. And one thing I really want to say also is that invoice factoring is excellent for certain types of industries, but it may not fit the needs of low credit score borrowers. So at the end of the day, you have to think about what really works for you. In our view, Bluevine is great. First of all, you have to choose Bluevine if you are looking for a low doc same day business line of credit. They do have also invoice factoring, and we love the fact that they charge simple interest, so you can save by paying back loans quickly. Okay, so this is an interesting offer from Bluevine. Number 2, folks, we have here national funding. Our score 9.5 over 10. With national funding, we love the fact that loan amounts will oscillate from $5,000 to $500,000. In terms of repayment, you can repay them from 4 months to 60 months, so that's 4 months to 5 years. The repayment schedule is a little brutal here, so we have daily, weekly, and monthly. So daily is kind of a daily repayment schedule can be a little disruptive to your liquidity strategy. But again, this is something you need to think about. There is no collateral required. A personal guarantee might be required for larger amounts, and funding speed 12 to 24 hours. And what about the rates here? We have an APR that range from 10% to 136%. That's on an annual basis, of course. There is a 2% origination fee. Minimum credit score will go from 550 to 600, and minimum time in business 6 months, and the minimum annual revenue $150,000. And again, that's gross revenue. What about the pros and cons here, folks? The pros, one thing I want to say here is that they have a low credit score requirement. So this is really good. So even if you have a less than stellar credit, you can still qualify for a national funding business loan, same day, low doc business loan. They have a simple and fast application process that gives you a decision within a few hours. And the fact that they have limited documentation needed to get approval is kind of cool too. I mean, this is the quintessence, if you will, of a low doc same day business loan. What about the cons? One thing we found a little tough is that they have a requirement to be in business for at least 6 months. Now, this could be problematic for some entrepreneurs. If you have a startups, you may find this very hard to qualify for. They do have a very high interest rate if the borrower has poor credit or limited revenue. And so if you are a qualified borrower, you should look elsewhere. And in today's conversation, their minimum revenue requirements are one of the highest on our list. So overall, I want you to think about national funding and say you might get a lot of cash from them. 9.5 over 10, that's our score. The loan amount will oscillate from $5,000 to $500,000, and you can actually get the cash within 24 hours. Number 1, folks, in our view, based on our analysis, the best low doc same day business loan is Fundbox. Our score 10 over 10. With this player, you basically are getting a line of credit, not a business loan, but you're getting a line of credit, a same day low doc business line of credit, and the line will go all the way to $150,000. The repayment terms will be 12 months to 24 months. Repayment schedule weekly, and they require a blanket uniform commercial code filing. There is no personal guarantee required for lower amounts, but for higher there might be. And the funding speed 1 day. Okay, we've seen people getting approved for a Fundbox line of credit within 4 hours. It's all about the company. It's all about the solidity of the business loan application and other stuff. In terms of the APR, you're looking from 10% to 79%, way cheaper than some of the other players we have seen on this list. There's no maintenance fee. The minimum credit score goes from 525 to 600. Minimum time in business 6 months. Minimum annual revenue on a gross basis $100,000. What about the pros and cons here, folks? So the advantages of this Fundbox loan is that they have a low minimum credit score and short time in business requirements that are fantastic for startups and very young businesses. And the rapid funding allows you to have the money in 12 to 24 hours. And there is no prepayment penalty, so you can actually draw against the line of credit as funds are repaid. This is really good. The cons, and this is a biggie in our view. You can only borrow up to $150,000. On our list in today's conversation, this was the lowest, but you know what? It's low, but you can get the cash ASAP. Weekly payments can make cash flow more challenging, especially if you have a liquidity strategy that is based on a monthly basis. And the credit score requirements were not as lenient as they were a couple of years ago. I think Fundbox is tightening their risk mitigation strategy, but again, this remains a great product. So at the end of the day, Fundbox is great because they have low interest rates, a low minimum annual revenue requirements, and an improved maximum credit limits. Borrowers must have a credit score of at least 525 to 600 and must have been in business for at least 6 months. Okay, you can borrow up to $150,000. This is really good. I want to give you a bonus here, folks. Actually, 3 bonuses. So we have actually, in the course of our research, we have come across 3 other products that we believe are worthy of mentioning on this show. And the first one here is PayPal business loans. So when we speak about low doc same day business loans, this is another great player. So those loans are short-term business loans ranging from $5,000 to $500,000, and the terms on these loans can range from 13 to 52 weeks, depending on the loan amount. And the fees are based, those fees are fixed, right? But they're based on the amount borrowed and the repayment term. One thing I want to see here is that to qualify for a PayPal business loan, you'll need at least 9 months in business, $42,000 minimum annual revenue, and a personal credit score of at least 550 to 600. And like the other same-day business loan lenders that we have talked about today, you can apply for a PayPal business loan by completing a simple 5 to 10 minutes online application. Obviously, you have to be in business for 6 months, 6 to 9 months. All right. And for PayPal business loan, we have actually ranked this lender 8.5 over 10, folks. 8.5 over 10. And then we also have a Rapid Finance, our score 8 over 10 when it comes to low doc same day business loans for emergencies. This is pretty good. And Rapid Finance offers both short-term loans and merchant cash advances with funding available as soon as the same day. So they have a merchant cash. So the cool thing here is that the loan amounts will range from $5,000 to $500,000, and you can actually repay the loan from 3 to 12 months. And interest rates charging, they start around 1.22 factor rate. Okay, that's for the MCAs. And for that, you need to at least $5,000 in monthly credit card sales or debit card sales. It has to be electronic sales. And you need a minimum 550 personal credit score and at least 3 months in business. So the requirements, as you can see, are a little lenient when it comes to Rapid Finance. And then we also have Ken Capital. Our score, 7.5 over 10. Another great player here, folks. We love Ken Capital. They are actually great in other services, but for low doc same day business loans, we believe that their rankings is a little lower. And Ken Capital is actually one of the oldest alternative lenders in the industry, and they provide both short-term and medium-term loans. Okay, the loan amounts range from $2,500 to $250,000, with terms between 6 and 18 months. In terms of personal FICO, if you have a score as low as 525, you may qualify. Okay, and they want you to have a monthly revenue of $12,500. That's gross income. Okay, and so that's really good. Also, you might want to think about Ken Capital if you don't qualify for all the other loans that we have discussed today. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about the top 5 low doc same day business loans for emergencies. Number 1, we have, let's just do a quick recap here. Number 1, we have Fundbox 10 over 10. Number 2, National Funding 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have Bluevine 9 over 10. Number 4, we have Sunwise Capital 9 over 10. Number 5, we have Loan Builder 8.5 over 10. And then we have 3 bonus players that we wanted to share with you. We have PayPal business loans 8.5 over 10, Rapid Finance 8 over 10, and Ken Capital 7.5 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.